What is up everybody, it's Animac here for AnimeUproar, and today I will be examining the brand new arc that just started in Black Clover. And I'll be delving deep into the character of the newest villain, Damnatio Kira. The most recent events in the story, including the events surrounding the Magical Congress and Damnatio, have set the stage for the new arc. And Damnatio has now been fully introduced as a ruthless Inquisitor-type villain who is threatening to end Asta's Magic Knight career, and to stomp out his dream of ever becoming the Wizard King. All of this says a lot about where the story will be heading from here, and I will be talking about all of it right here in this video. If you enjoyed the Black Clover content on this channel and you'd like to see more, please leave a like to let me know. And if you happen to be new to AnimeUproar, please don't forget to subscribe and turn on all notifications by hitting that notification bell. A big thank you to all of our AnimeUproar patrons who make videos like this one possible. I'll talk a bit more about Patreon at the end of the video, but now, let's talk about the story. And of course, this video does contain Black Clover manga spoilers. We're talking about the latest happenings in the story, so please proceed with caution, you have been warned. Chapter 217 is called Scales of Justice, and it starts off with a beautiful colored drawing of Secret, aka Nero, and I personally just really had to stop and admire the artwork on this page. It's really next level stuff. The chapter then picks up a few days after the epic battle between the knights and the elves and the devil. Asta and Secret are entering the courthouse of the Magic Congress, where they were invited to testify about what really happened during that epic battle. Going into the Magic Congress, Asta is an optimist as usual, and he's sure that if they explain everything about the elf massacre, the elf reincarnations, and how the devil was defeated, everything will work out fine. However, even before entering the Magic Congress, Secret is far more skeptical, and she cautions Asta not to let his guard down. And you better believe that Secret was right, because the very next panel shows handcuffs. And indeed, both Asta and Secret were immediately placed in handcuffs upon their arrival at the Magic Congress. The Magic Congress is apparently the very center of justice for the Clover Kingdom. And yet, as soon as Asta and Secret entered the Magic Congress, they could see what was really happening. The Inquisitor, Damnatio Kira, introduces himself and immediately calls for a hearing for the crimes of Asta. So, despite the fact that Asta was summoned there with the assurance that he just needed to testify. So basically he was told that he was just a witness who can help shed light on the mysterious events surrounding the elves and the reincarnation. Asta was actually treated as a criminal as soon as he entered the building. There was never any intention of hearing Asta out and trying to understand what really happened with the elves. Instead, Asta was identified as a criminal from the get-go, and this so-called hearing is nothing less than a full-blown criminal trial against him. A trial that he obviously had no chance to properly prepare for. The people inside the Magic Congress building, including King Augustus Kira Clover, assume right away that Asta must be guilty. And they even taunt him for being a low-class orphan from the Forsaken region. They start insulting him for being filthy low-class garbage without any mana. And at this point, the true injustice of the Magic Congress and this entire charade of justice is revealed. Despite the fact that Asta played a major role in actually rescuing the kingdom from the devil, no one inside the Magic Congress is interested in any of that. None of them are interested in the truth. Instead, they are all ready to condemn Asta at the drop of a hat just because he is not a noble like them. Secret is also accused of being a criminal because there is no record of her being born anywhere within the Clover Kingdom, and the horns on her head are proof that she dabbled in forbidden magic. But of course, we know that there is no record of Secret because she was actually born more than 500 years ago. And the reason she has horns is because she used forbidden magic in order to seal away the word magic devil 500 years ago, which saved the entire Clover Kingdom. These people should be thanking Asta and Secret, they should be giving them a parade, but instead they are insulting and berating them. The obnoxious nobles inside the Magic Congress have no interest in hearing the truth, and they have no interest in the fact that both of the individuals that they are accusing and insulting literally saved the entire kingdom on 2 separate occasions. As you can probably tell, these shameless nobles definitely made me pretty angry, and I was pretty damn frustrated while reading through this chapter. Asta tries, in good faith, to explain to everyone that the magic knights who had turned against the kingdom were actually possessed by elves, and that all of this was orchestrated by the word magic devil. But Asta's words are completely ignored by the nobles, who refuse to listen to anything he says simply because he is a commoner. At this point, the arrogance and ignorance of the nobles seems a little over the top in my opinion. Like, we get it, the nobles are stuck up and they dislike commoners, but Tabata is really laying it on thick in this scene. If these nobles were really this stupid and ignorant all this time, the Clover Kingdom should have collapsed long ago. Imagine ruling a kingdom, but being this misinformed and having no desire whatsoever to actually get informed about what's happening in the very kingdom that you are supposed to be ruling. Sacre is surprised that despite all of Julius's hard work in promoting a more just and fair society, there is still so much prejudice and discrimination, even here in what is supposed to be a court of law. And as I said, I'm surprised too, because I find it hard to believe that a kingdom where the ruling class is so blatantly incompetent could survive for this long. Damnatio then approaches Asta and whispers something to him, and it seems that he does this in a way that no one else can hear, except for Asta. Damnatio says that either Asta will be judged for being a devil, or the Magic Knights as a whole will be the ones who will have to shoulder the dishonor of everything that happened. Asta again tries to explain what really happened and how they defeated the devil, and that the devil was behind everything, but Damnatio asks, where is this devil? Damnatio demands that Asta provide actual evidence that the devil was behind everything, but Asta and Sacre are unable to do that. As a result, Damnatio says that if there is no proof that the devil exists, then they will assume that there was never a devil to begin with, meaning that each person who turned against the kingdom as a result of being possessed by an elf will be punished. Damnatio starts out by bringing out Marie Adley, Gauche's poor and innocent little sister, who is brought out in front of the Magic Congress scared and in handcuffs. Asta and Sacre are shocked to see how low Damnatio is willing to stoop, using an innocent child as a bargaining chip in order to force a false confession out of Asta. Damnatio says that unless they can prove that a devil exists and was manipulating the situation, Marie will be assumed to have acted the way she did out of a grudge she had against the upper and ruling class for her family's fall from grace. Damnatio says that Marie must be judged, and as a bunch of hooded figures are about to zap her with magic, Asta is forced to intervene. He assumes the Black Asta form and protects Marie from the magic attacks, but because he had to take on this form to do it, his demonic side is revealed. Asta says that he doesn't recognize the so-called justice of Damnatio and the Magic Congress. And the chapter ends as Damnatio proclaims that they will never see eye to eye with the likes of a devil. We are told that the battle over the devil is now beginning, and it is pretty clear where this arc of the story will be going from here. Although he was introduced in the previous chapter, and even then he was pretty sketch, in this chapter Damnatio was directly revealed to be the next villain of the series. He is an inquisitor type figure who claims to uphold justice, but is in reality willing to do whatever it takes to get his own way. He simply assumes that what he is doing is just, and he is willing to do anything, no matter how wrong and immoral, in order to get his way. He believes that Asta is bad news because of his connection to a demon, and in order to get a confession out of Asta, he is willing to lie, mislead, and even abuse an innocent child like Marie Adley. We can also see that despite the best efforts of people like the First Wizard King and Julius, prejudice and discrimination still run rampant in the Black Clover Kingdom, and their entire justice system is clearly a joke. At the end of the chapter, I am left wondering what is going to happen to Asta now. Not only do the nobles already hate him for being a commoner and an orphan with no mana, but now that he has revealed himself to have an anti-magic power that is connected to a demon, I can only assume that they are going to want to see him publicly executed. It seems clear that this new arc will focus on the internal divisions within the Clover Kingdom, and especially the divide between the stuck-up and willfully ignorant nobles, and the people like Asta, Yami, Julius, Mereoleona, etc., the people who put their lives on the line to protect the kingdom, regardless of background. Damnatio is going to use the corrupt institutions of the kingdom to try and destroy Asta and anyone who sides with him, and the good people of the kingdom will have to stand up to Damnatio. This could lead to some form of civil conflict within the Clover Kingdom, because we know that many of the royals, and especially the most powerful royals like King Kira Clover, are some of the worst offenders when it comes to senseless discrimination, so changing their minds doesn't seem likely. It is possible that the other royals who have more common sense, like the Vermilion family, will step in and try to bring the kingdom back on track. But whatever happens, a showdown between the corrupt ruling elite and the protagonists of the story who just saved the kingdom from the devil seems to be imminent. Let me know what you guys think. Are we heading towards a civil war within the Clover Kingdom? And if so, is this civil war going to be the thing that motivates one of the neighboring kingdoms, such as the Diamond or Spade Kingdom, to invade the Clover Kingdom, which will eventually lead to another war arc? Also, what do you think will happen to Asta now? Are they going to try to execute him, banish him, torture him? Let me know down in the comments. It's always a pleasure reading your input and feedback. If you enjoyed the Black Clover content on this channel and you want to see more, you can leave a like to let me know. And if you happen to be new to AnimeUproar, please don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell to turn on all notifications. Unless you turn on all notifications, you're not going to be notified. YouTube is going to bury our videos and you're going to miss them. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at AnimeUproar for all the latest Black Clover news and updates. I want to give a big thank you to all of our AnimeUproar patrons for supporting our work and making our videos possible. A special thank you to all of our Pro Hero tier patrons, including the one and only Gilgamesh, Nothing But a Fan, Jason Wilson, King Zeldris, and Angel Cruz. An epic thank you to all of our The One tier patrons, the ones who stand above all other clans, including Baby Ray, Ace, Ingrata, Alolan Atom, Maddie Mac, Mako Takun, and Keelan. And finally, at the pinnacle of interdimensional greatness, a tier reserved only for legends. A massive thank you to Reagan Harrison and Lord Nuxanor, disciples of Lord Twigo himself. If you enjoy our videos and you think they provide value for you, consider supporting us on Patreon, link in the description. Even a single dollar will give you access to our exclusive patron-only Discord, and your name will appear in our videos along with these amazing people. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, see ya, Space Cowboys.